What's up, everybody? This your boy Trav. Y'all see me on the ones and twos. This ain't too many times I be on the ones and twos for the dish, but we here. Just like my guys in 94 Feet of Life. We here, we here, we here. I got my guy Josh Storms, aka Cat 5. I got Jorge, the MLB guru. He in the building. All us in the building. We gonna have Ty come through and Jern is in the background somewhere. But hey, we live, man. We live on the dish. Josh Storms, Cat Five. Talk to the people, man. Let them know what's up.
Good to be here again. Glad to be back. We got a hell of a show for you guys. Everybody knows what's been going on. The talk of major leagues has been the whole foreign substance thing. We're going to get into that, and we got some surprises for each other too. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good show.
MLB guru. Now you're the MLB guru today. So, yes, talk to the people, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, excited. You quarterbacking. I love it. I love this. Get to say that the Braves stuck to your face. This is even better.
No. We
Yeah,
get to
there
say
you go.
that to his
There you
face.
I have the controls, so y'all be careful.
Listen, Trev, it has been 26 years, and I still don't forgive y'all for 95.
Hey, you should forgave us for last year to what we did, but that's neither here nor there.
For real though, I still haven't forgiven the Reds for getting swept.
So we're gonna start this thing off, man. Baseball has always been enticed or in an entanglement with cheating. It's cheating with batters, as far as the bats, the court, the pine tar, um, all that stuff, the steroids and all that stuff like that.
Easy,
Pitchers,
Trev. You can't say cheating. It's gamesmanship in baseball.
pitchers also, and today we're going to dive into a little deeper with the little illegal substance that these pitchers have been getting caught with lately. One particular pitcher, he's been talking about getting rid of this stuff, but all of a sudden you don't get rid of it, and he wants to take advantage of it. The league want to hammer down on him. And my guy Cat Five, man, what do you think about that, man? You've been digging into this stuff, man. Tell these people what's good about that, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting story for real. So what the whole thing started in 2018. An ex-Angels employee by the name of Bubba Harkins filed a lawsuit against the Angels and the MLB. He was very well known for providing quote unquote homemade concoction to help pitchers get their grip and whatnot, and supplied it all over the league. He dimed out a ton of pitchers in that lawsuit too. But before we get to the guy that you were just talking about, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer were among them. A bunch of other active and previous pitchers as well. Guy said a name you might recognize. Guy said he got the concoction from Troy Percival, who was a closer for the Angels. Anyway, but to get to what Trav was talking about, a guy that I'm very familiar with, and all of you should be as well. He just won the Cy Young last year, Trevor Bauer. This guy went to Twitter in same year, 2018. Actually, right after that lawsuit came out, it was part of this. He was screaming about this, calling for the MLB to do something about it, and saying that we all need to be playing on a level playing field. And guess what? Nothing happened. So not too long after, he sends out another tweet, says, "Who likes science and thinks they can help me increase my spin rate?" And for those of you who don't know, spin rate is how the revolutions per minute on a pitch thrown. 3,000 RPM is considered elite. 2,500 is above average. Bauer himself, at the time that he made that tweet, in over 18,000 pitches thrown in his career, had thrown 0 3,000 RPM fastballs. He has now, I can't remember the exact number, but he has now thrown over like 300 since then. His fastball went from an average of 2,600 RPMs up to 3,000 shortly after making that tweet. And so basically what happened is you got a guy who is begging and pleading for the powers that be to do something about it. And when it didn't happen, he said, okay, fine. If y'all don't care about this, I'm going to do it too. And when this became a whole big story, that was one of the things that was brought back into public view. And now all of a sudden, this is the only guy being investigated by the major league for using foreign substances, when you've got dozens, probably, and maybe not dozens, but you got a lot of active pitchers who are openly admitting to using foreign substances, but this is the only guy that gets investigated. That's a little, I don't know, that's a little shady to me, but
let's say what it is.
How you gonna pick on again? How you gonna pick on the guy that's telling you to stop? But when you ain't tell him to stop, now you want to pick on him.
Basically what happened was some reporters said, well, Trevor Bauer was making all this noise about it back then. And then the league went, oh, he said he was doing it. That's not good.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Right.
So, and it's just what's going on basically is the league has said, we're not going to stand for this anymore. They're going around collecting balls from clubhouses. Oh, and this is actually how the Trevor Bauer investigation thing came up. They went around and collected balls from all the clubhouses and said, we're just doing a study. We're not going to do anything about it till next year. And then what was it, like 3 weeks later, Bauer's announced under investigation. But the big thing is they're putting these rules or enforcements in place or whatever on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to leave it up for the teams and players that are doing the cheating to police themselves on it. That is the laziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen is absolutely nothing, because guys aren't going to want to call out the opposition for cheating, knowing full well that it's going to happen to their own guy next week because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a whole lot of smoke, in my opinion.
Man, I hear you.
It's just a narrative.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. MLB Guru, what you got to say about this issue, man? Talk to the people.
Everything that Josh said is on point, man. Like, first off, how are you gonna investigate the one guy that's telling you to stop it and not do anything about the rest of the players or the rest of the teams, And then secondly, if you're gonna investigate him, how are you gonna tell other teams to investigate the opposing team on the field instead of having the MLB doing it? That doesn't make no damn sense. I would say, for as long as I've watched baseball, I've known, man, that pitchers are using something. There's no way that you're holding the grip on the baseball and throwing it that tight or that hard without having something on your hand. Ain't no way. And secondly, that you said there's been forms of cheating in baseball all the time. This has been the longest form of cheating in baseball out of all of them. And until now, they want to do something, but they're doing it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be, oh, I spot something on the shoulder, go check them out. It should be, okay, why do they have an umpire doing this, a replay in New York? Why can't they have an umpire sitting in one of the clubhouses checking out the pitches?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not that hard. They're making it a lot more tougher than what it really is. And like Josh is saying, and Josh said, they're doing it in a way to where the blame isn't going to be put on them. The blame is going to be put on either the opposing team's manager or one of the players. So that way, if one of those players is caught on the opposing team, then if one of your players is caught, you really can't say anything because you're in fact snitching, you know? So you're snitching on somebody else, and then one of your players get caught. Oh, well, you shouldn't have never said anything. That's not the way they should have done this. And I mean, the ban that the pitchers are getting, I don't mind it. The ban is 10 games not paid. That's fine. But again, this is something that MLB should be doing, not the players themselves. That's the wrong way of doing business.
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead before I pass.
I also wonder if 10 games, honestly, I almost feel like that's a little light, but only because in the sense of like, you know, it doesn't happen every year, but it seems like every 2 or 3 years we have, actually almost even every year, we have at least one wild card spot that comes down to the last game of the season. You want to tell me it's not worth a 10-game ban to get your team into the playoffs? Come on.
That's a crucial part.
One night, I mean, may not be able to pitch in the playoffs at all, but you get your team there, and no one's going to care that you did something that's been happening for decades already.
Right.
So going back to the pitchers, the pitchers portion of this, we're going to see one or two things. We're going to see a lot of people get caught, or we're going to see pitchers that are elite being a lot worse than what they were prior to this, because they won't use the substance they were using, and they won't have that elite spin rate.
I mean, we've seen some of that already.
Yes, we have.
Since they made that announcement. I mean, Bauer's one of them. He's shown like a 10% decrease in spin rate across the board on all of his pitches since that announcement came out. Garrett Cole, I think, was like 6% decrease. And there's a bunch of others too.
Yep.
But I know I already went. I'm taking more time than I'm allotted.
Hey, you know what? Hold it thought, because I do want to get Ty. I want to get Ty's input.
Oh man, what's up, Ty?
I got the
sneak in the building.
I got the Ty through. I had to unlock the back door, because usually I don't let people like Ty come in my domains. He's welcome. And Ty, what's going on, man? Talk to us about you almost made me say something. Clayton Kershaw and the illegal substance that he's using right now, man. And him getting caught.
See, this is Trav, you can't bait me like that. Try to be all nice and welcome me in the first time you ever welcome me in, and then you're not gonna serve me a drink or give me a drink that I
got you, man. I got you, man.
If you
but yes,
let me in with open arms, and at least give me a second to not attack my own favorite pitcher or one of my favorite pitchers.
I got you, man.
You could have said Verlander. You could have said Scherzer.
And he's one of the ones, but we're not gonna go there right now. But yes, give us a little elaboration about the illegal substance that these pitchers are getting caught with now, and what's your thoughts about it?
So I'm a reference a quote from a Hall of Famer, Richie Ashburn. He said this in like 75. He said, after 15 years of facing pitchers, you don't really get over them. They're devious. They're the only players in the game allowed to cheat. They throw illegal pitches, and they sneak foreign substances on the ball. That was said a long time ago. It's like Storms was saying when I, came in and snuck in, did my best ghost impersonation here. What's the surprise? I mean, yeah, because Bauer's, talking about it and being a polarizing figure, now we want to address the situation. Now that we have Garrett Cole in a Zoom meeting with an awkward long polos, and because he has such influence on the MLBPA, now we want to have conversations. This is where baseball, goes wrong. Did we not learn anything from the steroids era? Okay, I get it. You want a clean game, you want a clean sport, but if you've known the elephant's been in the room the whole time, now you want to do something about the elephant. The elephant's full grown now. When it was a baby, maybe you had a chance to get rid of it. You dealing with the hippo. Like you're that
Right.
guy who felt he could raise a hippo, and then he felt that strong connection and is shocked and surprised when he, gets mauled to death by that same hippo he raised. So baseball, if you want to, have the definitive stance, you want to make these new rules and enforce them. Like the minors have already had, a lot of change happen. There's, of course, the 10-game suspension thing here. There's more things to come before the All-Star break. Why now all of a sudden? You want to know why? Because the no hitters, because of the low batting average, but that was a response to what happened in 2019. As far as you're saying, too many home runs. You look wishy-washy right now, MLB. Now that's just me getting on my soapbox. I digress. Let me get back to Trav and Kershaw.
Oh,
as far
no,
as Clayton
no.
Kershaw goes,
Stay on your soapbox.
no. I mean, because Trav, gave me this, rinky-dink welcome, so I'm gonna take it. I'm put my feet on his couch. F your couch, Trav, because you want to talk about Kershaw. Let's talk about Clayton Kershaw. Okay, let's talk about him for a second. So, if you want to come down and on every last major Cy Young winner, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get either a couple reactions. It's going to be quiet and awkward. Your teammates are going to come defend you, like DeGrom. If he has one tuck of his pants, you got his teammates on Twitter saying, whoa. DeGrom's clean. He's not like that. I know this guy. I vouch for this guy. And you have to then look at the numbers and the performance.
Mm-hmm.
With Kershaw, he's an interesting character because while we've seen him on the decline, do we want to go back to his prime years and say he did it with illegal substances? Do we wait for him to, comment on this? I haven't heard too much from him, but I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, this has been happening, with pitchers all along. We know the characters of pitchers. We've seen and heard, whispers of dark substances, and it's just never been in the forefront like it is now because you didn't have no hitters happening at this rate. You didn't have a low batting average, and you didn't have, the wishy-washiness of outliers of high performance. When you have outliers of high performance as wishy-washy as this one, it causes concern. And baseball is not handling it in the right way because it's not being proactive, it's being reactive. So I'll wait till I hear from Kershaw, the man himself. I never had, any concerns, but you forget, I was a big Gagne fan. I was a huge game over guy. And I thought Gagne was the real deal. And then you look at how his career ended and you were like, yeah, it makes sense that, it was them roids.
Mm-hmm. Man, you know what? When I'm hosting stuff, I get people coming out of everywhere. I even got my guy Mo Shefty that hit me up, and he wants to talk about this. And he want to talk about this.
Cancer season is coming.
Look,
right. Listen. When Mo when we got a controversial topic like this, and Mo wants in,
he got to get in.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
Hey,
Mo, to preach.
Mo, talk to these folks, man. Talk to them about these cheating pitchers out here, man.
Well,
what they got to do about it? What the MLB got to do about it?
You can't talk about a cheating scandal in sports and not bring in a
enterprise.
As I am often used to being on the defensive side of these scandals.
Unrelated. You can't deflate these balls.
They're doctored.
So, I do have one slight thing to say. I won't stay long, but something I want to touch on. Talking about all these doctored baseballs, juice baseballs, whatever you want to call it, right? These substances that these players are using. Number one, to me, it is very similar on levels to the steroid thing because it's been going on since forever and everybody's known about it, including Major League Baseball, who all of a sudden wants to act holier than now on this, been knowing about it. What they're doing, what baseball is doing right now is saying, hey, man, it's on these umpires to get this right. It's on these teams to get this right. But as the fellas have been saying all night, why am I going to go snitch on this guy when I know next week somebody's going to snitch on my guy? Let's just all keep our mouths quiet. But something did catch my attention on this, and it is a quote from Pete Alonso, the New York Mets first baseman. I don't know if you heard this or not, Jorge.
Yep.
Did you mention it on the show yet?
No, go ahead. I was gonna
Okay.
mention it. Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
my bad.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Special guest, go ahead.
So
Hefty time.
Special guest, special
said-
privileges.
here's what he said. Where is it? Okay. He says, speaking whatever they want to use to help control the balls about the pitches, let them use it. For me, I go in the box every single day and I see guys throwing harder and harder. I don't want 99 miles per hour slipping out of someone's hand because they didn't have enough feel for it. More importantly, he went on to talk about, and I didn't know this, but maybe the fellas did, about how I guess baseball altered these baseballs. Major League Baseball altered these baseballs during different off seasons, and they think the one year they did it in 2019, there was like a record set of home runs that season. So it's sort of one of those things where you want to talk about all these unwritten rules. These pitches got to keep up somehow. These pitches got to control these pitches somehow. And from a batter's perspective, I completely get it. Yeah, I would rather the man throwing 100-mile-per-hour rock at my head to have some sort of control of it. I don't know if people really know how hard a baseball is. My niece rolled one and it hit my foot the other day. I'm like, damn, these things, I forgot how hard these things are. So yeah, if somebody's throwing it at me, guess what? I better damn sure hope he knows exactly where that ball is going to go. And from the pitcher side of it, if baseball is going to keep changing all these balls and everything else, well, yeah, I got to be able to somehow, some way control this ball. And I don't see it no different than how basketball players put the powder, how NFL quarterbacks have that, whatever they have in their little Indiana Jones thing that they put on the front of their pants. Because you can't tell me that's just hand warmers in there. So whatever it is for us to get a quality product, I'm good for it. And in my humble opinion, I don't classify this as cheating.
Nah, look, I'm going to tell you one thing before you go, if you're going to go. There's only so hard you can throw a ball. But these batters keep getting stronger and stronger. So the pitchers have to be able to counter that. And the way to counter that is by their spin rate and putting something on their hands to get a better grip. That's what it boils down to. And they've been doing it for years. This is the first basically cheating that there is in baseball. It started ever since baseball has started. And just now they want to do something about it. You know why? Because the generation that grew up with the steroid era, they're now getting into their 20s. So what are they used to seeing? Home runs. They're not used to seeing these pitchers duels. They're not used to seeing these no-hitters. You know what I mean? So now it's a big deal because they know that next generation is coming, and what they want to see is they want to see more offense.
Cat 5, I see it written all on your chest. Get it off.
Yeah, I listen off it, fellas. Have a great show.
Man.
All right, Mo. Appreciate it, man. Get up with you
Thanks
later.
for stopping
Yes,
in,
sir.
Mo.
Yeah, man, for sure, guys. Later.
Yes, sir. Get it off your chest.
So,
I see it.
So yeah, no, for like to expand on what Jorge was saying, like for people who think that this is like a new thing, like you got to realize the first foreign substance ban in Major League Baseball was in 1920, 101 years ago. The spitball and foreign substances were written into the rule book as banned. So it's been part of the rules for a century, which means it's been going on for longer than that. So now here's another thing. I agreed with everything that Mo said, but I got a little bit of devil's advocate to play on that too. You'll see the name change today. I got to get my guru on. So I did a little diving into the numbers here.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. And I get from a business standpoint with MLB, I get why they're trying to bring the offense back. You need the ratings, you need the butts in the seats, and the offense and the home runs and the hits and the guys running all over the base pass. That's what's going to get the casual fan. So I get that. I understand it. It is a problem. It's not the problem that I have with what what Pete Alonso was saying is it's a slippery slope, because you like guys using things like pine tar that does nothing but give them a better grip and keeps the ball from keeps them from losing control of the pitch. But when these guys are using things that affects your spin rate, which pine tar does not increase 1 rotation per minute. That's fine. But what we got now is the entire Major League Baseball as a whole is batting .237 this season. That is tied with 1968 for the lowest mark ever. Okay. You got to go all the way back to 1972 to find a year before 2018 where the mark was below 250. We've got the highest strikeout rate by far ever this year, 8.99 per 9 innings. 9 strikeouts per inning on average. It's increased every year since 2007, with every year since 08 establishing a new record for strikeout rate. 2010 was the first year it was above 7. In 15, it went past 8, and now another 5 years later, we're flirting with 9. So I get it. Like, something needs to be done. I don't think it's something that, we don't need to be banning players for life for using foreign substances and stuff like that. But there needs to be a crackdown at the very least. It needs to be reduced. Just to be good for the game. It's great to see these pitchers duels and a bunch of no-hitters and all that. But the game is going to lose money if this trend continues, just because the casual fans are going to stop watching. It's a 3-hour game.
Before we go to the next subject, let me get mine off real quick. Bottom line, let Pete Rose get into the Hall of Fame. Now, people are saying why I say that. The reason why I say that is because you done went back to a rule in 1920. They probably were cheating in 1898. So you just, you got all this cheating going on. And you got gambling been going on with numbers and bookies and all this stuff with baseball. If you've been cheating all this time, just let it ride at this point. And that's why I say let Pete Rose just get in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, Trav, I gotta stop you right there because I have to ask this question to you, tailor-made for you. So do you think Charlie Hustle used the cork bat?
He probably did. He probably did. He got to win his own bets. So, who knows? That haven't been proven, but we know he gambled. But at the same time, baseball, as buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks and all that old good traditional baseball stuff, at the end of the day, them folks ain't that much traditional when they come down to cheat, because they've been cheating the whole time.
Hey, Mo got a question for us. He says, but don't you think higher Ks are more a result of less PEDs in the game rather than the pitchers? I said no, Mo, because, players are more looking for home runs now than they are for base hits. So that's why they swing and miss a lot more. But to go off of the steroid stuff that we're talking about, if you guys, not you guys here talking with me, if you guys out there watching think that the MLB didn't know that there were steroids in the game or they didn't do anything about it at first, you're out of your damn mind. Because there ain't no way that they sat there and they're like, oh, cool, McGuire's hitting 60 home runs. This is awesome. That he's not juiced. You're crazy. If you think Sosa's hitting 70 home runs, 60 home runs, and they're like, oh, he's clean, you're nuts. And now they're doing the same thing with pitching. It's been happening all these years. Leave it the hell alone. Come on. He's making a big deal out of really nothing.
Reporters used to be able to walk into a clubhouse after a game and see some dude getting a shot in the ass. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to Jorge on this. What is the next thing that y'all wanted to discuss? As far as the we didn't talked about the cheating. What was the next subject that y'all wanted to chime in on?
So we each wanted to pick a team in which we thought was going to bounce back, have a better, let's say, second half, or play better from here on out until the end of the year and possibly make the playoffs, or a team that's up in the division, whether it's first or second, and having a good start to the year and fall back a little bit. So I have my team, but I'm not going to say it yet. Ty, I want you to start this off, man. I want to hear
Why
what
you
you're
have me
gonna
go
say.
first?
Talk through. Talk to the people, man. Who do you think is gonna
Okay.
turn it up either in a few more weeks or after All-Star break? What team do you have a feeling that's gonna do that?
So I thought long and hard about this one because there were a few teams like I went back and forth at looking at the numbers. But I'm confident in sticking with my gut. It may be a little controversial to some, but I'm going to go for the gusto. You know, I go big or go home. So my team that I feel uh, can bounce back and actually make a run for postseason contention, although it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard. They're going to have to focus on doing a wild card spot. The Toronto Blue Jays. I'm watching them as they are playing the White Sox right now. But the AL East is going to be intriguing, and that race is going to be closer than you think. And there are plenty of teams within that race. As we speak, the Blue Jays are only 6 games back behind the Rays for the top spot in the AL East. You have the Yankees ahead of them. You have the Red Sox at second. So that's why I would say the Blue Jays are going to, have to focus on a wild card spot because as great as a team offensively they are, there's some questionable pitching problems that they need to address. They have a very poor record against above 500 teams, but they're not the only ones in that division that does. Like the Red Sox and Yankees do as well. So if you're looking at a team to turn it around, you're going to at least look at a team that can score runs, and the Blue Jays can do that. And I'll give them that and tip my hat to the Blue Jays.
Do you think there's a shot that the Blue Jays take that division?
Now, with how good the Rays are, I want to say no, but we forget the Rays still are young. What happens with young teams? As great as a manager they have and the culture they have for that organization, easy come, easy go with young teams. We've seen it time and time again.
They're also still the same team from last year without their top 2 pitchers.
Cat 5, elaborate. What you got?
All right, so for me, man, I'm still stuck on the Red Sox and their terrible defense. I went into it a little bit last time, but I dug a little deeper today. I talked about a couple different numbers last time: outs above average and runs prevented. Those are good numbers, but as we know, no number tells the whole story. So here's the thing: is outs above average is a good measure of. It can give you the idea of the type of range and spectacular playability that a team's average fielder has, but it doesn't show you much about their defensive skill and ability outside of are they fast enough to get to a batted ball or whatever, or can the guy make a diving catch? It doesn't show you whether they can make the routine play. So one of the things that I took a look at is defensive efficiency. That's a metric that attempts to measure the percentage of balls put in play converted into outs, but it takes a lot of things into account. Innings pitched. So it takes 2 different numbers. One is innings pitched, strikeouts, double plays, outfield assists, and it measures it against another number consisting of batters faced, strikeouts, hits allowed, walks allowed, hit batters, and errors committed, and it weights each error as 0.71 because 71% of errors lead to a runner getting on, reaching base safely. The Red Sox are dead last in this category at 65.5%. compared to the league average of 69.7 and the MLB leading Astros at 72.8.
Whoa.
They've also fielded the fewest total number of players this season. They've used 33 different players as fielders. That sounds like a lot, but the Mariners have used 50. Okay, now those are the two extremes. The league average, I think, was 40, but they also have committed. There's only 5 teams that have committed more errors than them this season, and the fact that they've used the fewest number of fielders, that tells me that they themselves question the amount of quality depth that they have, and that's really telling. I mean, what if they lose JD Martinez's bat for 2 months? What if Bogarts goes down during that stretch too? Now you've lost a good chunk of your offense and you've got nothing to back it up. So they're going to have to stay healthy if they have a shot this season. And if those numbers, their defensive effort and everything doesn't improve dramatically. So I'm sticking with what I said a month or two ago. I still think they're going to finish 10 games out of that division and miss the playoffs.
Guru, who's your team of choice that you think is going to pull a push, either after the All-Star break or however it may be?
So we said last year that there was one team in particular that made it into the playoffs, and if their pitching got right, they would make some noise. Unfortunately, their pitching was right, but their offense was horrible. And this year, their pitching is horrible, and their offense got right. I'm going with your team category. The Reds. They have a shot, and they have a really good shot. And I honestly can see them winning the Central or a wild card. In the
That's
Central,
a bold kid. Bold move.
They're not too far back. You know, and as we always say, the Central, for some weird reason, always produces 3 playoff teams. Don't know why. Don't ask me. It just happens. So I picked them, and here I'll give you some guys a little bit of numbers. We got 6 pitchers so far that started games for them. Their starters have been 18-24 with 19 no decisions, man. That's a lot of no decisions. Their ERA is 3.83. Their team ERA is 4.96. That's 28 out of 30 teams. Team ERA, that's bad. And that ERA means the starting ERA is 3.83. So meaning that for them to have an overall ERA of 4.96, their bullpen, their relievers ERA is about 6. So they have to fix their pitching.
We lost our whole sports science department.
They have to fix their starting. Castillo has to get right. Luis Castillo is 2-9 with over 6, about a 6.5 ERA. Sonny Gray, he's 1-4 with 3.42. They have to pick it up. The best ERA they have is Vladimir Gutierrez. He's 2-1 at 2.65. You wouldn't think that with that.
And everyone outside of Cincinnati is going who?
Yeah. Exactly. But let me tell you what their offense has been doing. That's carrying the team right now. They're 6th with a 2.47 team average. Their on-base percentage is 4th with 3.326. They're 7th with 292 runs. 5th in the league with 503 hits. 5th in the league with home runs with 83.
Come on, keep it coming.
And they're in the bottom half, 22nd with 524 RBI. So what does that tell you? It tells you that they don't strike out a lot and they put the ball in play. So they can score runs. Their problem is pitching, just like the Braves.
Oh, yeah. Huge problem. Like, you sure you don't want to pick the safer team and join me with the Blue? I know you want to say the Blue Jays. I know you want to.
I ain't going safe, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
I wanted to pick my Reds too, but I felt like that would have felt too obvious.
Yeah, and you're exactly right on that. And my team of choice, I mean, you start
Don't you
off
dare say it, Trav.
you
Don't you dare say
start off
it.
17-4. Best record in the MLB. Kicking ass and taking names. All of a sudden, I think it was like one or two injuries, and you lose like 10 games straight. You lose the lead and everything. And that NL West, you look at it, it's stacked. It's like a 3, 4, 5 game separation. But I really think the major league champions, they're gonna make a run soon. Health is the major cause. I mean, I think the Dodgers gonna make a run. I think the Dodgers gonna make a run sometime soon. When they get healthy, we know about their bats. They didn't spend all that money for pitching for nothing. They gonna win some games. So we'll see. I'm just gonna keep it that short and simple. But they just gonna make that run. I just got a feeling they're just gonna make that run. Now, Ty,
You know this was recorded, right?
it's
Man,
recorded.
You know we love
It's
it.
recorded. It's
Way.
recorded. It's recorded. I'm gonna be nice about this. It's recorded. But Ty, do you? I mean, we're just bringing stuff to the dish table today. I mean, we got the cheating with Cat 5. We got the teams. What you bringing to the table tonight, man? I know you got something that we can talk about. We got 20 minutes left, man. We got some. I know you got some that we gonna talk about. So
Yeah, I'm speechless though when because I did not expect you to say the Dodgers. I honestly did not
I'm gonna
expect that.
I'm gonna keep it
But
real. I'm gonna keep it real.
yeah, but will say this: like, I like the pick. Um, they were one of the teams I considered because you're right. Health is wealth, and when you get healthy and you see the flashes of what we know the talent and what the talent is capable of is just making it, a consistent push.
Mhm.
So definitely a good choice there. So hats off to you. Um, what I will bring up because I do have something. I always have something up my sleeve. Travis, right? I do come prepared. Let's talk about some surprises that we may see this year as far as All Star. All Star Weekend is going to be coming up. Summer's here. It's getting hot. Like it was crazy hot in Phoenix today. Like we had a heat warning, man. Like
Mm.
it's bad. And if you want to know how hot, the high today, I believe was like, well, I know tomorrow it's going to be 104, Saturday 109, but it was triple digits and pretty bad today. Like right now it's 99 and it's 718. I think the high was at like 100. So summer's here. With that, some surprises. Let's throw out some surprises here that some people you didn't expect to be all stars. And it's funny that Guru picked a team that I didn't think he was going to pick. I thought it was because they're giving up way too many runs, way too many runs. But what's going on with Zach Kozart? Like he just is on fire. Um, Category, like where did he come from? Who is this guy?
Zach Kozart. Is this
Yeah.
is this 2017? What's happening? No. The reason I say that is because he did something similar that year too. He's always been known as a good defensive shortstop, but he's always had a very inconsistent bat. And in both this year and 17, he just hit the cover off the ball. He cooled off a lot after the break in 17, but he's having a very similar season this year. So it's not unprecedented for him. It's not unheard of. But it's just
You're talking about 4-year gap, man. You're talking about 4-year gap. Come on, that's
I mean, it's surprising for sure. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Like it came out of nowhere both times. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's got a 4-year cycle.
Man, a lot of these players are turning back the clock. Like you said, like we were talking about the other day before Evan Longoria got hurt for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
How about him turning back the clock? How about Buster Posey turning back the clock? 34 years old, still doing it. And I know
well, Buster Posey's still Buster Posey, but come on, you did you see Zach Kozar doing what he's doing this season? Like after because granted, his 2017 was great when he was with the Reds. Like,
yeah.
But
did I stumble through that pretty well? Because I don't know a damn thing about what Kozar's been doing this
year. So just to give you some for perspective, as far as if you factor as far as all-stars that come out of nowhere, I wanted to bring him up because he was that year in 2017, like he was unstoppable, and I think that it was a good story, and I like stories like that. That's why I brought it up. So I bring that to say, as far as in history going back, like this year, who do you think is going to be that guy that comes out of nowhere?
Well, I mean, you can't count rookies in that, right? So,
what was that, Ty? Say that again.
So who's going to be the surprise, like all-star, like somebody that didn't expect, just had a great year and didn't see coming, like Zach Kozar in 2017, as the all-star game approaches?
Well, for me is because I get to see him a lot and I'm a fan of him, is Ty-John Walker. He got drafted by the Mariners and now he's on the Mets and he's turning into that ace that the Mariners thought he was. And he's not even the Mets' best pitcher. He's the third best pitcher for me, but that's because I see him every day, or whenever he pitches, excuse me. But as far as my surprise goes is how about the kid from the White Sox, the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Can we count a rookie as a guy who came out of nowhere for the All-Star though?
Shit, I would, because I didn't think he would be leading the MLB with a 358 average.
Who is this again?
Yermin Mercedes.
Yeah.
He is the DH for the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna stop talking about the White Sox because it's too much praise. Less all I'm giving you.
If you say it 3 times, he may pop up like Candyman, but I don't think you want them problems right now.
I ain't saying that.
But you know what? For me, I'm gonna say this. It's not a surprise, but it's just that I have watched him. I finally I had my eyes on him, and y'all know how I criticized him because of the fact that he didn't get wins. He didn't get wins to me. But DeGrom, again, it's not a surprise. But the stuff I have seen from him, I ain't never seen. Well, I seen it one time. That was about a couple of play. I think when the Nationals won the World Series, they had one guy. He's a right-handed pitcher, but he looked like he had left-handed stuff, like fastball, naturally curved. Actually good glove when in the outfield. I mean, in the infield and everything else. But DeGrom, dude, nasty, man. He's nasty. I didn't know he was nasty like this. Like, he is filthy McNasty. Like, again, y'all know I was just talking my stuff and just letting it go or whatever. But I gotta acknowledge the dude on it. Dude is the number one pitcher in the league.
About damn time. Finally came out your mouth.
He's the number one pitcher in the league. Dude is nasty. Dude got hurt
Who is this Trav that came to the show tonight?
This
Like,
dude,
you know?
this dude got
Okay,
hurt.
next subject. So
This dude got hurt. Went down to the Triple League. They talking about they booted him out to Triple A and told him to go back to the Major League, and he went back and won a game. Like, dude's nasty, man. But man, tonight, man, tonight has been a very good night. Again, this is my first time running the PG, running the show, being on the pitcher's mound on the dish. And we talked about some very good topics, man. We're gonna have some more. We're gonna have some more coming real soon.
do I get to do a surprise all-star?
You got your surprise.
Yeah.
I thought you already got yours.
Nah, bro.
You know what? My bad.
I was asking.
Yes, you're right. You asked him. Yes, Cat 5. Who is yours? Before I even
All
do
right.
that, who is
All right, Ty. Great segue, because my surprise all-star is going to be from a guy who plays for the same team that Cozart did in 17. My Reds, Jesse Winker. This man, like, here's the thing. He's always shown great potential with the bat. I want to be specific there with the bat. He's still not a great fielder, but this guy's had one of the most inconsistent bats I've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, and this year he's just unconscious. He's second in the National League in home runs, hits, and batting average right now, and he's been there all season. Him and Castellanos both, which is pretty cool. To Jorge's point, our pitching needs to pick it up, but Winker's my surprise all-star.
Okay, before we do anything, yes, Zach actually beat you to that, Josh.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he actually beat you to that.
Great minds, bro.
Yes, he actually beat you. I'm looking at that right now. And he also asked when we're gonna debate our teams we drafted. That I need to know.
Well,
That's the all-star bracket, the all-star.
I don't know, but it needs to happen because Germ has been talking out the side of his neck for a minute.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Germ don't want those problems.
Germ is in the background right now, but I will put that up, and we're gonna let y'all bump
Everybody watch their mouths. Watch those mouths.
Germ,
Let me make sure. Wait. Everybody, including Westrick, my lineup, it doesn't have to be the best. But guess what we do? We hit. We get on base. We put pressure on pitchers, on all these Jake pitchers that y'all got.
I knew that comment would bring him out.
Germ, I got something for you. I'm gonna give you a bone here. So my answer for someone I think deserves an all-star nod that he's never had, I'm going to the Astros actually. Yuli, La Pina himself. I think he's deserving of an all-star berth there. I think it would be a surprise because in the shortened season he didn't do too well last year, but he's been, a guy who can get you 30 and 100, and I think he can do that this season. He's batting well for you guys, and I would love to see him be an all-star. And I think he's deserving of one. So that's my surprise guy, especially bouncing back from a shortened year. And I didn't see it coming. Probably not going to happen because of his position, but
one more thing before we get too far about discussions we need to have in the future.
Remember.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Just real quick. Just remember this: the Astros are always relevant in the American League.
Man, this is why I was.
As long as they got the garbage cans, they good.
Hey, as long as we got the midget, we in the game.
The midget.
As long as we got the midget, we in the game.
Like EA.
Man, Yuli is carrying the team. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, it's not the midget, it's Yuli.
Hey, Jeremy, who's your closer's name in your team? On your team?
The closer name on my team?
Yeah.
I don't need a closer.
Hey,
guaranteed 6 runs a game.
Germ's not even going to play the ninth.
You know what? I do. Before we go to the closing thoughts, I'm just gonna do one rapid fire question, and I just wanted I just want one name. Now we did do the surprise All Star, but right now going into how many games we did play? Close to 50 games, 50 to 55, 56
Yeah.
games this year.
But
Who is the best player in the National League, and who's the best player in the American League? Start with Cat 5. Your National League guy. Best player in National League right now.
He's not at the top of the stat categories, but I got to go with Tatis right now because of like we were talking about, because of what he means to that organization and how he affects their success, his presence there. They're gonna go as he goes, and so that's my guy for the National League. Let somebody else go. Let me think about the AL for a minute.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go around National League first. Guru, talk.
just because he picked Tatis, I'm gonna pick Acuna. Acuna is on another level, man. I've told you this before. I don't care if it's recorded. I don't give a shit. He's gonna go down as one of the best ever to play this game, and that's just how it's gonna be because he's that good. He leads the league in home runs. I think it's either 17 or 18, and he has
18.
like 13 or 14 stolen bases. He's gonna have 20 for 20 before the All-Star break. That's crazy. So I go him, man. He's just that good.
Ty, who you got?
I want to say Tatis so bad, but I gotta agree with Guru. Like Acuna was right there, and I think does it at a better clip. Now I've seen games where like this year where you think Tatis is going to hit for the cycle, and that's crazy that he just makes it look so easy, and he's having fun doing it. He's having fun, and he's bringing fun back to baseball. So to be that freakishly good and talented, and just make it look so easy is great. But I can't just yet. He's right there though. He's right there. 1A, 1B for me.
Germ, if you're still on, who you got the best player in the NL?
Of course, it's the guy that I picked on my team. Mr. Acuna himself, the junior himself, he is playing lights out baseball currently. I mean, yes, I had to make sure I threw that out there that he was on my team as well. He just makes me look like a genius GM that I am in every sport. Just great. But what's my next question?
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. But I gotta go with number 13 with the gold chain with the translator after games. He's just that good. And I got dogged again when I said Tatis. I got dogged. I got ragdolled for Lindor for that. But hey, that's my 1B. My 1A is Acuna. 1B is Tatis. Cat 5, have you got your answer for the AL?
Yeah, man. I gotta go with the 1A and 1B too, but they both play for the same team.
Okay.
Interesting.
And it's only because I can't ever say that anyone is better than Mike Trout. But right now, the best player in the AL is Shohei Ohtani. That guy has been doing amazing things on the mound and at the plate. He's just, I used this word on the last show. He's an enigma. He's special and weird, and I can't get enough of it.
Guru, your AL top guy.
I agree 1,000%. And it's weird that they're on the same team, but this is exactly what Mike Trout needed to get to the promised land, and he may have that help this year. If Ohtani continues, watch out. I mean, they're probably going to need a wild card to get in, but yeah, he's that special, man. To be on the mound and throw what he throws, and then to hit a ball 450 feet. He makes this game look easy. He makes it look like I can go out there and hit a home run. That's not going to happen, but he makes it look that easy.
Tied through.
It's unanimous. I mean, because you can't like who else can you argue against Otani except for the brilliance that is Mike Trout, but you literally have somebody who's doing everything for a team and helping them compete. Like I love a lot of names that are offered in the American. There's a lot of talent, a lot of young talent that's on the rise. Like you're looking at what Vlad Guerrero is doing this season. He's having a hell of a season. You look at Tim Anderson. You look at Randy Arozarena. There's a lot of amazing talent in the American League, but who can do what Otani does? That's the best player, arguably, in the majors.
Jern. Is it that unanimous?
No. Here's the thing. I think he's played fantastic. I think there is a case for him probably in the next couple of years to be the best player in baseball. It's gonna be there because of his versatility with him as a fielder and everything else. It's still Mike Trout. And I'm not gonna go any further than just saying that. Mike Trout is still the guy, he's still the engine of Major League Baseball. He is the one guy that we have to understand that every time he goes to the plate, every pitcher is saying, I can't give this guy nothing to hit. Period, point blank. He is probably the best defensive center fielder in the league. It's not close. I will go and I will stand on a mountaintop and I will shout for the Trout. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like that. Shout for the Trout. You do know Otani has 9 stolen bases too. Just saying.
Otani is my guy.
Who is the best player in Major League Baseball?
I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm just saying. What I'm saying. Now that is your opinion, and I agree with that, Jern. And I'm just gonna say this before I make my pick. Mike Trout been missed about. I'm talking about just playing right now through these 50 to 57 games right now. Mike Trout ain't played that many games right now due to injury, and he's going to be out for a good little bit. But that is your opinion. You stick with it. Now, his teammate is flat out balling, and I got to go with the fellas on there. He's doing
hot dogs.
He's doing everything but serving beer. And he probably be drinking that on the mound.
Yep.
But
if they have a fan on the field, he'll probably tackle him too.
He'll probably do that too. He'll tackle it. He do the security jobs. He serve. He get the bats ready and everything.
He that Bugs Bunny cartoon where he pitches is behind the mound.
Yes, he do everything.
I was just gonna say
he do everything. He do everything.
And catch the first pitch.
My second place guy, my 1B guy will be Vlad Eto. Dude just balling. He's balling too. He's balling. But Otani, that's that dude.
And man, Vlad's a junior for a reason, right?
He's a junior for a reason. But man, great discussion, fellas. Closing thoughts, Guru. Talk to the people, man.
I love doing this show, and more so when I get to say the Braves suck to you, like I said in the opening.
Okay, closing thoughts, Cat 5.
Nah, but for real, look, this is fun, man. I love doing this with y'all. Look out for a show this weekend. We're gonna bring you top 10 again. Revise our top 10, our power rankings. Of course, love doing these shows with you guys. Just keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm. Cat 5, closing thoughts, man.
It's a good show, man. I'm always happy to be here and talk baseball with you guys. But closing thought, man. Rob Manfred, man the hell up. Do something about it.
Yep.
You know what? That's a good segue to next week's show. Keep that thought. We got you. Todd through.
Closing thoughts. I had to, of course, shout out to Views and our special guest, Mo Shelter. That's my guy. I feel like I haven't seen him in like forever. I miss him. But it was great to see him jump on the dish tonight. just make sure you keep the scene on your screen. You never know when we're going to hit you with some great conversations that need to be had in sports. Let's forget all the BS that goes on in sports. Let's actually talk about some real stuff going on and the things that people really want to say but may be afraid to speak on. The scene will take it there. The dish will take it there. We got some of the best and most brilliant minds in sports. A lot of talent right here, and I'm just proud to be amongst these great men. That some of them I call brothers, others I call rivals. That means you, Trav. But no, we're at the end of the day, we're all champions here. So stick with a championship caliber network like the Scene. Keep the scene on your screen. That's all I gotta say.
Scen, closing thoughts, man.
Look, I just want to say thank you guys again. Just make sure I get memos next time. That's all I can say. With that being said, good show. I look forward to next week. Next week, maybe next week I'll come back. We'll see.
Hey, man.
You know what? That's a good way to bring the show full circle because just like Bubba Harkins claimed with that whole MLB memo, I think you just missed it, bro.
Yeah. on that thought, this is the dish coming from the Scene, signing out.